I am going through all the perks, ammo mods, and filter grades, testing every single base item with all 6 augments to test which ones are working, not working, busted, but also overpowered. Now, the next up on our journey is depth perception. Why? Why did they put that in the game, man? Why? No one wants it. We didn't want it. I didn't want to have to do this. I didn't want to have to do this, man. I want to be the C.
Before we deep dive into the stats about this perk, just answer me one question. Why? Why is an accessibility feature in the game, like a setting, better than the perk? And then why does the perk boost that accessibility feature? For what reason do we need to have the mini-map going faster? And now in today's video, don't worry, Turk, I want to tell everybody about why you're so weird and why this is a horrible perk. But don't worry, I'm also going to share all the good positive stats because I did find a really good utility for this perk. And it's going to be a game changer for at least some people. And we'll talk about who those people are today. Let's just get right into this very disappointing video.
Now, per usual, guys, whenever I am doing any of these videos and testing, I make sure that I always need to give this disclaimer that sometimes if I'm doing these tests, there are some numbers that is slightly off just because a lot of things are percentages and things like that. And so I want to make sure that I do get into that. But also in today's video, I'm also going to break down something that's really cool that I don't think anybody else has just yet. Maybe that you guys haven't really necessarily thought about. So I'm going to break that down a little bit later. I'm going to kind of do that at the end of the video. But with that being said, let's just get right into depth perception. So up front, let's just talk about depth perception as a basic perk. This perk makes me sick. So depth perception in Black Ops 6 Zombie make obscured enemies key line. Well, what does that actually mean? That just means that you can see the zombies through objects and equipment. Now, what is the radius? The current radius is about 15 meters. When it comes to further insight, it actually increases the perception radius by 5 meters, which isn't even better than high contrast mode. High contrast mode gives you 20 to 22 meters and of a fade. So after 20 meters in high contrast mode, the zombies actually fade across 2 meters until where they're not highlighted anymore. Now, you can see here on the visual what it looks like for whenever you actually have high contrast mode on. No, it's crinkly. No, it's crinkly and squeaky. You have to get up. Move. You're not getting it back. I'm keeping it right here. With high contrast mode, it fades after 2 meters to where you can't see them anymore, which is much better than depth perception and further insight because after 15 or 20 meters respectively, the perk, it just disappears. Now with that, also the zombies they pulsate, right? So they do one full pulsation from toe to head every second, which just means that there's a point in time where a portion, and it's about 1/6 of their body. It's kind of going from feet to knees to hips to chest to head. So around maybe 1/5 of their body is not highlighted at any point in time. Now, this isn't really much of an issue when you have a large group of zombies that are behind like some sort of barrier. But in reality to it, like you can't see is whenever there's like one zombie. And also the illumination or the glow of the zombies are extremely faint. They're about, I think when I was noticing about 1/5 as faint as the light from whenever you have on high contrast mode. I was saying in the beginning that depth perception somehow boosts high contrast mode. So to give you a good understanding of what high contrast mode is, it is an accessibility feature to make sure that people who have, low blindness or blindness to some capacity can be able to kind of see much easier if they're illuminated. Now, with high contrast mode, it does not allow you to be able to see enemies through the walls. However, you can see enemies through the walls once you get depth perception. And depth perception as a base perk keeps it at the 20 to 22 meters of a fade. So you're already boosting and you're already getting further insight just by having on high contrast mode. Plus, you also get the high contrast mode glow and illumination behind walls and everything like that, 20 to 22 meters out. So there's no purpose in ever equipping further insight at all. So let's go ahead and talk about bird's eye view. So the minimap scan rate is increased. This is also kind of insignificant. If you use the minimap, then that's great. Currently, without the augment, the minimap scans every 4 seconds. However, once you turn on bird's eye view, then now it scans every 2 seconds, and it's the wave is actually quicker. So it scans much faster for that wave to update faster. And then you got 440 milliseconds to reveal all the rest of the zombies that are around. So the only thing that it helps out for is maybe because of the 1 second pulsation of like some zombies. If you have a few scattered zombies somewhere and like you've got the pulsation, then it's just a pulsating every second, and then the minimap's scanning every 2 seconds. The every 2 seconds might be in between one of those 2 seconds to where like, but in reality, you're not looking at the minimap if you're trying to look at zombies. You're not looking at zombies if you're trying to look at the minimap, and that's the biggest thing. That's Treasure Hunter. So Treasure Hunter was pretty confusing at first. And so just at a base, what it does is it provides 1 extra drop from every lootable item that you can loot, as well as like those crystals, those bubbles from the tomb, loot containers, hidden containers, things like that. It does not drop anything from Vulture Aid that's already dropped. So as an example, Vulture Aid drops small essence and also small ammo drops. This does not drop any essence. However, it does allow you to pick up regular size or large size ammo as well. Now, unfortunately, large size ammo does not give you extra ammo for your wonder weapons. That part kind of sucks. It also doesn't drop any salvage as well. Now, you would assume because it says spot items others can miss, that while in co-op, if your friends or whoever you're playing with, loots equipment, it'll pop out an additional item, right? But that's not the case, unfortunately. So when you go and play co-op, you have to be the one to loot the items in order to get those additional items. So obviously, as you can see here on my visual, I have the breakdown of the rarity of how much ammo or how much loot you'll get from everything there. So obviously 1 of 3 will be armor, 1 of 3 will be ammo, 1 of 6 tax, 1 of 9 lethals. So up next, let's go ahead and talk about extra change. So extra change is essentially really cool if you can spawn into the map already with depth perception. Now, I am going to say that unfortunately, extra change does not work on directed mode. So just be very aware of that. The only way to be able to get this to work is essentially if you wait to round 25 on our launch maps and on Citadel de Mort, but also if you spawn into the tomb and you grab depth perception, then this will work immediately. Now, because of the fact that you have to wait till round 25 on the first 3 maps, this is completely insignificant. By the time you get to round 25, you don't need the amount of essence that this can give you. You get 100 extra essence per location that you can go to. With the mystery boxes, since the mystery boxes move, you can lay down at the mystery boxes when they are active at their locations to be able to get that 100 essence. Now, with that, if you do get a fire cell, then if you run around to every mystery box, you can lay down and get extra essence from those mystery boxes that are active during the fire cell. The fire cell counts as a completely different instance for some reason, and this is actually kind of cool. For the tomb, you got 10 ammo caches, 2 arsenals, 2 pack punch machines, 3 gobble gloves, 3 crafting tables, 6 mystery boxes, and then a bunch of stamp chalices that does not include stamp chalices. But if you get all of those things, you'll get 2,600 essence for all of that stuff with no stamp trial, which will buy you the perk back. But also, if you go into the game and immediately get depth perception as soon as you can, then you go and get all the essence. But you're going to take probably about 4, 5 to 10 rounds to get all of the essence from every location in the map. So it's not necessarily worth having at all. Let's go ahead and talk about Death Stare. So Death Stare is a really, really cool augment. And I actually really like this augment because your elemental weakness damage has a chance to kill an enemy that is low on health. Now, what does elemental weakness damage mean? This just means that there are certain elements that does extra damage to certain enemies. And you can see on my visual here that I have exactly what enemies are weak to what items or what elements. Now, this means that your weapon with an M mod on it will one-shot an enemy that is low at health. It also makes a very distinct sound that you can hear very clearly if you have your audio tuned. And then also it'll display marked for death on the screen, as you guys see on my current, as you guys see right here on my visual. What is considered elemental weakness damage? Obviously, any of the ammo mods are considered elemental damage. And then also including equipment that does the enemy's elemental weakness as well. So that means Molotovs for Mangoes and Abominations, since Mangoes and Abominations are weak to fire. Molotovs do that, right? A Casimir grenade does shadow damage, things like that. So those also work to potentially one-shot an enemy who is low on health. Well, what is considered low on health? 10% for those bosses and specials and the bugs is considered low on health. So this means that if you can get an enemy down to 10%, you can then one-shot them with your elemental weakness damage. Now, what is the chance? So this is actually, it feels like it might be boosted in some way, shape, or form by elemental pops augments or by elemental pop, but I cannot confirm that for sure. However, the chance, I believe, once you get past around 25 is about 100%. It might be 50%-ish, like 50% of the time you'll, but it also might be on a timer. It's actually really difficult to test because the way that I ended up using this is to grind Camos. Why would you grind Camos with this augment? Well, let's think about this. If you have a really strong weapon that you want to play with, but you need to grind the elites and the specials with a different weapon, you don't need to upgrade that weapon at all. One of the biggest issues about the Camo grind is that with the way the economy and money and in essence works on Black Ops 6 Zombies, if you want to level and grind two weapons at the same time, it's going to hurt your own economy. You won't be able to really upgrade one weapon to max to be able to really take out those specials and elites. So because you cannot do that easily, you can only really level and grind one weapon. Well, that's okay, because all you need is 500 salvage to get the ammo mod that you need for whatever enemy type you're going to be fighting on whichever map on your secondary weapon that you're trying to grind. So to give an example, let's say that you're grinding a weak pistol and you want to go ahead and grind those elites. You can put Light Mend on it and go into Citadel de Mort, or you can go into Citadel de Mort or into the Tomb to take out the doppelgasts because they're weak to lightning. However, you don't want to grind through all those levels to get to like round 30 where you got a bunch of them spawning in all the time. You don't want to grind up just that pistol by itself. So you go in with a strong weapon that'll get you there quickly, maybe even a wonder weapon. And once you get to those rounds where you've got a bunch of zombies coming and a bunch of enemies of those elites coming, you shoot them down to 10% health, and you can kind of estimate about where to be. And then you go in with your weapon with their elemental weakness on it and shoot them with one shot and it'll kill them. Almost every single time. And it almost didn't even matter too about timing. So it feels like after about round 25, round 30, every enemy type that you do this with, if you're using at least this strategy, will be one shot. Check that out, try that out. That should change the game for anybody doing a Camo grind. Let's talk about how this actually works in retrospect, because if you're done with the Camo grind, then if you can shoot one of those enemies all the way down, let's say like you're at round 50, if you can shoot an enemy all the way down to 10%, you can shoot the last 10% easily. It's not going to be much of a deal to you at all. So if you're not on a Camo grind, you don't need to use this unless you're specifically doing this for maybe the enemies on the blood sacrifice in the tomb. All right, let's go ahead and talk about our last augment, and I've got a special treat for you guys. Well, So critical eye. So small chance that a body shot becomes a critical shot. So this is actually a really cool augment as well. And to be honest with you, it's something that like I would run if I were not doing. I would run if I were not doing a camo and using depth stare. So this is something I will be using. Now with this, what's that small chance? The chance is 10%. So specifically, 1 of 10 body shots have a chance to become a critical shot. This does not mean that it's going to pull your aim up to their head and do a critical shot. It just means it's going to give you the damage of a critical shot. Because it gives you the damage of a critical shot, that shot's damage buff does apply in any way, shape, or form. Now, if for whatever reason your first or your critical shot that was a body shot was your first shot on an enemy and they had not been done any damage, you have on dead first, then it'll do double damage, right? So that's the really cool part. As well as dead shots, critical hits have a chance to return a bullet. If you do pop this, or if this does pop on an enemy, for instance, if it takes you 7 shots to shoot an enemy and one of those shots or 7 body shots, and one of those is a critical shot, that has a chance to return a bullet to your weapon. So that's really cool. Now, if you have on the augment. Now, does vulture aids carrying luggage take effect? Vulture aids carrying luggage gives you more scrap for critical kill. It does not give you more scrap for critical kills and have carrying luggage on, in this case, unless the final hit of that body shot ended up being a critical shot. It will give you the kill as being a critical kill, meaning that you didn't actually shoot the head, but if it's the last and the killing blow happened to be that chance of a shot, it'll be a critical shot. Because of that counting as a critical kill, then the carrying luggage can take effect, and I'll ultimately give you a 1 in 3% or 1 in 3 chance of dropping extra salvage. I hope that makes a lot of sense. Where this shines and why I love it so much is because I love to play with the SVD, and obviously I know you guys love to play with shotguns. Anything that does body shots will count. As an example, the SVD I believe has 6 pellets, maybe 8. I can't remember off the top of my head. 6 or 8 pellets, and if all 6 or 8 pellets shoot one zombie in the body, that counting as 6 or 8 body shots. So that means if you do 2 trigger pulls with the SVD or with the shotgun, and since it does multiple pellets to the body, in 2 shots, you might get 16 total body shots, which means you have a chance of one of those becoming a critical shot. So if every 2 trigger pulls with a shotgun or the SVD, you have a chance of one of those pellets ended up being a critical hit or count for critical damage, which is really cool. And that's exactly why I want to use this. Now, the very last thing I want to show you guys, and you guys can definitely screenshot this, and all of the images and articles and everything will be in the description down below. You guys can make sure to click on that, as well as like TLDR and all that kind of good stuff. As well as you'll be able to see everything on our new website, reforgehq.com. But check it out. I've got a bunch of resources over there for you guys. It's about gaming blogs, success, growth, self-development, professional development, communities also for you guys to be able to grow and progress, financial resources, all types of things for you guys. But anyway, this is the best way to get extra loot by all the items. So when we break down armor, ammo, lethals, tactical, salvage, and essence, how can you get extra of those through utilizing all of the augments, the perks, the gobblegums, and all the different equipment? So this is just gonna be a really nice shortcut for you if you're wanting to maximize grabbing any of this stuff. So I hope that this helps you guys out. As an example, you guys can see on the screen here with armor. If you want to be able to get extra armor, you'll need depth perception and have on a treasure hunter, and it has a 1 of 3 chance of dropping. And then let's say that you're also wanting to then increase your armor as well. You got Double Place with Juggernaut, which gives you a 25% boost to your durability as well. So you guys see how this all works right here. You guys can definitely screenshot this, or like I said, the images will be in the description below, guys. Now, this was a very easy perk. Unfortunately, I really am disappointed that they put this perk in the game, but there is some utility to it. And also, I hope that extra loot by item visual helps you guys out massively. Let me know in the comment section down below if you learned anything. Up next is going to be PhD Flopper. I'm really excited about that. So let me know what kind of questions you guys have. about PhD Flopper, check out our brand new website because it looks really good. I'm really excited about the work that we've been doing on it as well. And with that, guys, have a beautiful goddamn day. Let's do some analyzing chat. Where's the analyzing music? Yeah, you guys know this is my shit. You guys know this is my shit. All right, here we go. Now replay that shit. Here we go. Gotta keep my momentum going. So this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, 36, 37, 38, 39, 40, 41, 42, 43, 44, 45, 46, 47, 48, 51, 52, 53, 54, 55, 56, 57, 58, 59, 59. How many? 1, 2, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. That's right up to there. 9 out of 59. We'll just round up to 10, or no, 9 out of 59 is how much? 15%. So 15% of this block. So 9.15% is how long this thing is. So when this was at 1 out of 9.15%, 10%. So it has come to my conclusion that anywhere below 10% of the health is considered low health. I can assume that. What is considered low health, low on health for enemies? Assumption, 10% is considered low health. Assumption, that means we're gonna have to test it ourselves later on. Assumption is 10%.